J. Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Christine Lisi. The Saints, in need of running back depth, will host free agent Kareem Hunt tomorrow, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Starter Alvin Kamara's suspended the first 3 games of the season for violating the personal conduct policy. Eno Benjamin's on IR. Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud, second overall pick in this year's NFL draft, will start Thursday's preseason opener against the Patriots. Coach DeMeco Ryans.
From C.J. in this game, I just want to see a guy come out and command the huddle, command the offense, get us lined up, get everybody on the same page, and just operate efficiently.
Meantime, another big setback for the Texans' offensive line. Ryans told reporters starting right tackle Titus Howard will be out for a while with a hand injury. While he recovers, veteran swing tackle George Fant will have the opportunity to start at right tackle. Center Scott Quisenberry is on IR with a torn ACL and MCL. Cowboys cut kicker Tristan Vizcaino amid his struggles. Brandon Aubrey currently the only kicker on the 90-man roster, but Dallas could add another kicker soon. Proven kickers like Robbie Gould and Mason Crosby do remain available.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Green, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat here on a Monday afternoon inside the Ingles studio.
And now our website works because, we'd taken the eye off the prize on that one. So the 2022 NFL Draft mailbag is now a thing of the past.
Yes. Finally.
Yes. Finally figured out how to get that to go away after a year.
That's right. Check us out on the sportsocracy.com. And that's your way to get in on the battle for the belt. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time! See, did I do that okay? That's the Bruce Buffer.
You did that a lot better than whatever that singing thing you were doing right before we went on the air was.
You love my voice. You know it. I'm like the songbird of a generation.
You're not the songbird of this room. You're the first tone blindman I've ever seen.
We've been having deep discussions about DeMarcus Ware singing the national anthem at the Hall of Fame game, which, the NFL preseason is fully underway. We weren't with you on Friday, so, Jeremy, your thoughts on your team? I mean, Jets going Jet right out the gate. Let's go.
The players that are actually going to make the roster were up 13-0. I'm fine. My big takeaway from the Hall of Fame game, if you can't sing, don't sing, especially not in public.
Come on.
It was atrocious. It was genuinely atrocious.
Stop that. It was fine.
I mean, and I get that you have nerves and all that. Look, I've sung the national anthem many times. It's not easy to do.
No.
But you ought not do that because that was.
I want to know how that came up in conversation.
I do too. I feel like somebody was 17 domestic lights deep and they went, hey, let's let one of the inductees sing it. And they were thinking about Jordan Mailata, and then, nope. He's not one of them. No. Because he is the songbird of his generation.
DeMarcus
Ware, not so much.
No, I mean, Justin Tucker, I could see letting him sing the national anthem because he's got a set of pipes on him as well. DeMarcus Ware, I wasn't expecting that. When they said, here's DeMarcus Ware to sing the national anthem, I went, oh, you better not.
I'll be real honest with you. I'm not sure he was expecting it either. They trotted him out there with a microphone, and he went, I'm going to give a speech. And then the music started, and he went, oh, say, can you see? No! Don't riff the national anthem. It's okay. It's bad. It's bad.
He
You
just wants to show his range, and that's okay.
There are certain songs in this world that you should just not ad-lib on. The national anthem is one. Any of Creed's anthology is another. Just, okay, maybe get singers to sing the national anthem.
I mean, to give him credit, he got all the words right. He didn't get all the notes right, but he got all the words right.
Your excuse this morning was he wasn't Carl Lewis or Roseanne Barr.
Absolutely.
Band.
It wasn't amongst the worst of all time.
That's like looking at like you meet somebody online and you go, well, they're not Ted Bundy. Okay, that's a weird bar, but you're not wrong.
I thought he did fine.
It was awful.
It was admirable that he had the stones to get up there in front of a packed house at the Hall of Fame game, sing the national anthem, which is not easy to do. Look, could they have found somebody within 100 feet of him that probably could have sang it better? Yes, I'm not denying that. However,
they could have swung a dead mouse around the logo at the 50-yard line and hit 5.
However, none of those people would have been DeMarcus Lawrence. And
it wasn't DeMarcus Lawrence, it was DeMarcus Ware.
Excuse me, DeMarcus Ware.
Two very different people. Both Cowboy edge rushers,
yes.
but one of them is in the Hall of Fame, and one of them might be allowed to buy a ticket one day.
I give the guy credit.
Our buddy Armchair Commentary, who deserves a big commendation. Nope. Well, we're off to a bad start on a Monday. The button's not working. He's throwing out the lyrics for Country Roads. It's almost time.
I'm your huckleberry.
For the Country Roads sing-alongs. We're but only 31 days.
Yes.
1 month. 1 U.S. month from today. Football.
It's a U.S. month, not a U.K. month.
Correct. I don't know how other countries' calendars
not
work.
A German month.
I don't. Some of them use military time. I don't know how that works. Let's go. U.S. month. 31 days. 4 weeks. 3 days. Right now.
Yes.
Let's go.
Until the start of the NFL season, we are all ready and raring to go. The Hall of Fame game, did that do anything for you on Thursday night? Because I'll be honest with you.
Watched every second of it.
I don't know why.
I watched every second of it.
Because after the first quarter,
look, I got to see what I'm getting myself into. Wednesday, going down for joint practices. Carolina Panthers, our Carolina Panthers, and the New York Jets.
Yep.
I just got to acquaint myself with the numbers. Make sure I know what I'm looking at when I get to lovely Wofford on Wednesday. And to Charlotte on Saturday.
Okay. All right.
There are things you can glean from the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at a guy that is a starter that is going up against backups and he is getting dog-walked, you should probably make other accommodations because that's not going to go well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to go well.
No. But, Hall of Fame games in the books. Average 6.3 million viewers.
Yeah, and if you wonder why we talk about football all the time, let's play a fun game. The Hall of Fame game, which could barely be constituted as NFL football, averaged 6.3 million viewers from pillar to post. The NBA playoffs average 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that doesn't include the finals. Your 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets bring it in. That skews the number. The divisional playoffs in Major League Baseball, 3.4 million.
Mm-hmm.
The Hall of Fame game doubled that. That's why we talk about football.
Absolutely.
And it didn't even mean anything. I could argue there weren't 5 guys on that field that you will see in NFL action this year, and I think all of them played for the Jets. So it's just is what it is. And now we're headed into every team kicks off the preseason this week.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see a lot of starters. The Sean McVay thought process is really starting to prevail around the league of why would I stick guys out here to get hurt? But you can get meaningful reps for rookies. The Jets just did that. Joe Tippmann, second-round pick, played into the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Now maybe the starting center for the team based off what he did in that preseason game, according to Robert Saleh.
Nice.
So there's things that you can glean there.
Okay.
I mean, I don't care who wins. Yeah, I bet on it. Yeah, I lost it. Yeah, I hit the over. So we've started 1-1. Degenerate season is upon us, baby.
That was the number one takeaway for me on Thursday night was when I woke up the next morning and saw the final score and went, oh, well, don't bet preseason football.
Over. I also had the Jets in the first half line, so I was fine.
Well, there you go. Good for you.
Yeah, I bet preseason first half lines.
Yikes.
I bet cricket. This shouldn't be a surprise to you.
Coming up tomorrow night, 10 o'clock on HBO or Max, you have the debut of this season's Hard Knocks featuring the New York Jets. So that's going to be fun. And
may get to see me on episode 2 of that.
Then you
got, I'm a very identifiable dude, and I'm going to be there.
Then you got the Jets in preseason camp with the Carolina Panthers Wednesday and Thursday, right? And then Saturday is the preseason game at Bank of America, the opener for the Carolina Panthers against the New York Jets, who you will, again, not see anybody that really sends you.
No, I mean, you're not going to see Aaron Rodgers or guys like that. But, no. I mean, look, it's the preseason.
Protect it.
To me, it's really stupid that we even play these games.
No, I agree.
Except you get into there are rookies that need the reps, and you got the guys, fringe guys to make the roster. This is like the dollar marg. This is like the boneless buffalo wing at an Applebee's. It's not why you showed up, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It'll hold you over until your microwaved food gets here. I can't believe I just compared the NFL to Applebee's. Should have compared it to Firehouse. That pepperoni pizza,
that was so good.
Meatballs. Holy good gracious!
That was a great sandwich. That was today's lunch here in the Ingalls studio.
Yeah, if you want to see how much Tank enjoyed it, there's a reel that I recorded, and I'm not 100% sure he knew I was doing it. He certainly didn't know what I was going to do with it once I recorded it.
He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna put your sandwich right here. You just do what you do.
You just eat it.
Okay.
Just eat it and look lovingly at it.
Show you how much I love this thing."
And then I put a 90s love song behind it, and I laughed, and I laughed, and I laughed.
But the weekend went pretty well. You got some golf time in on Friday.
Played with our buddy Chris Smathers on Friday while we were preempted. Shot reasonably well. Took 4 holes, I think, for him to go. Man, I see why they bring you to charity contest. We had, and I'm going to get into this later, there's certain things you don't do on a golf course. We talk about the FAFO scale around here.
Mm-hmm.
We had a handful of gents. They 13 FOD, and they almost FO'd. The only thing is that I had to run to an interview, so when they drove off, I didn't get the opportunity to say
all the things
things that I wanted to.
Right. I know nothing about. I know a little bit about golf etiquette, but I'm not sure.
Don't worry, I'm going to tell you a story about it later on,
and we're going to talk about it because I'm gonna need some help. I want the House of Reprehensibles to sort me out on this thing because it actually to me sounds like Jeremy's being the jerk in this situation. But we'll get 100%.
Into it. I'm not.
We'll get into it later on in the program.
But the exact opposite of being a jerk is being a goodman, which is what our Canada friend Armchair Commentary has been doing today. I'm not so good with Discord things, but Thursday, our fantasy football quarter marathon on the YouTubes starts at noon, runs till our normal 6 o'clock. That is I believe the next to last time that we were preempted by the Braves for the rest of the year.
I believe that's correct.
I think we have one more after that. And so we're going to do a 6-hour nothing but fantasy football. That's the day that the fantasy football draft kit comes out. If you're in on the battle for the belt, you get that for free. If you're in on the ultimate draft weekend giveaway, you're already in that where you get the draft kit for free. I showed Tank some of it today. It's going to be helpful for those of you that want to win your leagues. It's a nice little flow chart where you just go, hey, that's what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And there we go.
I'm a big fan of maps. I like maps.
It is. It's basically. It almost kind of reminds me of those Goosebump books that we read when we were a kid, and you had to jump pages depending on what ending you wanted. It's kind of the same premise, and it completely takes away the names of players. So as opposed to falling in love with, I have Breece Hall on my fantasy team because I'm a Jets fan. I have the most valuable running back on my team. And when he's no longer going to be valuable, we trade him away. And at the end of the year, you have a really good roster.
Yep.
I call it Cowboy Zach Hursting. Now, you do need somebody like Tank in your league to trade A.J. Green for Christian McCaffrey.
You're just never going to let me live that down, are you?
Never, ever, 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 ever. But Armchair Commentary has been putting together the Discord. There are some really cool things that we will announce with the Fantasy Draft Kit on Thursday, in the quarter marathon. You will have almost unadulterated access to us. No matter what your fantasy football questions are, you will always have a sounding board. But we'll explain more to you about that on Thursday.
Indeed. All of the links for the Battle for the Belt competitions are up on the sportsocracy.com.
The belts are almost, the designs are almost done. I can almost share them with you.
Really excited?
We have to tinker one thing, and we can't figure out exactly how to do it. Mm-hmm. But we're almost there.
Right. You want to get in on the Battle for the Belt once again. Proceeds from the Battle for the Belt competition go to Eblen Charities for the St. Nicholas Project, making sure that needy families in our area have something to put under the tree for their kids each and every Christmas. It's a great organization and a great fundraiser that we have been involved with. Well, I've been doing this since I started here at iHeart. Those many years ago.
I am reasonably new to it, but these are fantastic people that do fantastic things here in Western North Carolina. We started calling it competition for a cause. It blended itself into the Battle for the Belt.
Yep.
And basically it's DFS with your buddies. There's going to be a whole bunch of tie-ins over the course of the year. We got some surprises for you. Made the game a little harder this year. After Michael Meadows just dog-walked us last year.
Right.
Go make sure nobody does that this year.
Right, so we got two contests. We got the usual just DFS every week, and then there's like the Eliminator series or the Survival Pool or whatever Jeremy's calling this thing.
And then there's a weekly one, too.
Oh, my goodness.
We haven't told you about. But that's on Sundays.
So
it's another little game
right.
I came up with.
All right.
This is what happens when you give me a full offseason to do nothing but drink Fireball and think about fantasy football. I start concocting all these evil little ways that I could torment people in fantasy football.
We got the links to the contests are posted on the sportsocracy.com along with QR codes that you can follow along, and it'll take you right into signing up for the Battle for the Belt each and every week DFS competition with us, members of the House of Reprehensibles, and the rest of you.
The QR codes are up on the website. You can go to thesportsocracy.com. It's right there in front of you. You'll see today's YouTube video. All you got to do is scroll down like 2 clicks on your little mouse, and you can sign up for whatever you want to. Proceeds of this go to the Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project, and it's got a lot of help for you across your fantasy leagues. So you, like Lisa Ebenzel, I will never forget this story, can beat people senseless in your fantasy football league and not tell anybody where you're getting the information from. To this day, the funniest thing anybody has said to me since we've been doing this show.
You are in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How'd you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow. Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just send them a text.
Text WALLET to 323232 to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Pay off debt, improve your home, add your retirement fund. It's up to you. Just text WALLET to 323232 right now to see if you qualify. Text the word WALLET to 323232. Text WALLET to 323232 now.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and man, it's days away.
Well, I mean, you got to resist the urge to do what Satisfied Browns fan did.
I'm your huckleberry.
Which is Dorian Thompson-Robinson is better than Lamar Jackson and Kenny Pickett. Okay. I feel like I have to do this every year when we see mobile quarterbacks, and I know he's kidding. I am completely sure of that. Running quarterbacks in the preseason have an advantage because you get completely vanilla defenses, and you get a quarterback that can run, and he can run. He was impressive. I'm not trying to diminish what he did, but you have a huge advantage because you know what the defense is doing. There are no exotic blitzes. There's no really reading the defense. It's basically you're playing against a Madden playbook. And yes, he was very good. He was very good. Frankly, all the rookies for the Browns look good. Several guys for the Jets look pretty good too. Made me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame game is in the books, and as everybody ramps up for their openers of the preseason, Carolina Panthers opening up this Saturday against the New York Jets at Bank of America Stadium. Some additions being made to the teams. Carolina Panthers, one of them, picking up Justin Houston, who I think is 47 years old.
Justin Houston's younger than me. I'm almost 100% sure.
He's just one of those guys that feels like he has been in this league forever.
He's 34.
That's surprising to me. I thought he was older than that.
No, he's 34.
I thought he was at least 37.
Well, I mean, the thing that should be encouraging about that, if you're a Panthers fan, Justin Houston had options. Look, he's been one of these mercenary guys every single year, and he waits. I think this is the latest I've seen him wait, to my recollection. I could be wrong on that. But that means he's looking at Carolina going, I got a shot to win there. I mean, I don't think anybody has the delusion that you're going to win the Super Bowl this year.
No.
But could you win the division?
Possibly. Yeah. Quite possibly. Both you and I think, both have them winning the division, or at least being on the heels of whoever does.
I have the Saints winning the division, but I got Carolina and Atlanta right on their heels.
Mm-hmm.
And I got you winning 4 games with what is just a genuine disaster at quarterback.
Let's go.
Every day that I read things from your Buccaneer beat writers, I can't help but laugh. Because now you're on year 1 of what we Jet fans have been on for 40 years, 50 years. You sold your soul to the devil, and you signed it in blood.
Yep.
And now you get Browning Nagel and Richard Todd and Ray Luke. Oh, wait. No, those were ours. Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask and Josh Rosen and John Wolford. And, I love it. I can't wait to see how bad your team is. Just every Sunday. And this year we're going to be live on Sundays, too.
Yeah.
So our normal fantasy football show that we did before kickoff now is going to last all through the Sunday slate. So the sadness of sad Tank Spencer will be right there on camera every single week.
Again, I'm going to point out, you forget that I am a fan of one of the worst franchises in the NFL. It just so happens that in the last 21 years we have 2 Super Bowl championships.
Yeah,
somehow I don't know, but we are still in the last 20 years. I think we're 3rd from last to the worst winning percentage.
I believe that is correct.
I think that's right. I think it's like the Arizona Cardinals are last, and probably the Houston Texans. And then not the Texans.
I think it was the Cardinals, the Browns, and then you.
There you go. There you go. Something along those lines. I'm used to losing football. This feels normal. There's no reason for me to be excited about this. The only thing I'm excited about going into this season is seeing Kyle Trask take the starting job away from Baker Mayfield just so I could say, I told you so.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that that's going to happen.
If he keeps playing the way he's doing in practice, they can't say enough bad things about him.
Well, the verbatim was if Kyle that I heard in the last handful of days was if Kyle Trask wins this job, it's not because he won it. It will be like not applicable.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one that has to just trot out there first.
Baker Mayfield does not have the stretch the field arm that Jameis Winston once had for this team. The no risk it, no biscuit offense. Remember all that? Baker Mayfield doesn't have that arm.
No.
But what he does have is the turnovers. And in camp, in 9 days, he has thrown 8 interceptions. To Kyle Trask's 1. And every day, you got nothing but good talk come to Kyle Trask. He's winning this job. I don't think they're blowing smoke. I think they honestly have a legit quarterback competition, and right now Baker Mayfield is losing it.
Yeah, he's bad.
He's terrible.
Bad, but bad.
So, I mean, you could see maybe, he starts, looking worse, or he just continues to look this way. Maybe he gets cut loose. Maybe they sign somebody. Hey, I saw an article earlier today. Matt Ryan says he's staying in shape. Just hoping somebody calls. Matt Ryan, come on down.
Yeah, you can turn that phone off. You can turn that phone off. It's totally fine.
Who knows? I like the Justin Houston ad, though, back to the camp moves that have been going on. I like Justin Houston coming to the Carolina Panthers as a veteran presence. Yetur Gross-Matos has not been the pressure, the pressure gauge that they wanted him to be. So there's that. You got the Colts adding to their backfield. Kenyon Drake. Who just won't disappear.
Ugh.
He is now signed with the Indianapolis Colts amongst the sadness that is the Jonathan Taylor situation there.
I put no stock in that. To me, that has more to do with Zach Moss than it does with Jonathan Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Because, look, if you're the front office of the Colts, you're just sitting around going, all right, how long you want to play this? This is almost like when a child gets mad because you tell them they can't have SpaghettiOs for dinner, and they slam the door and I hate you, you're awful. And then 17 minutes later, hey, so about that food thing, I have to eat or I'll die, and you're the only one that can do that. So how about we settle our differences? That's what's coming with Indianapolis.
The Bears picking up Yannick Ngakoue. Picking him up off the free agent wire. That gives them a little pass rush, something for Matt Eberflus to play with. He didn't get to in Indianapolis. He was not there. Yannick was there the season after Eberflus left. So there's no connection there, but it's still a nice little toy that the defensive coach would like to be able to use.
Well, I mean, mainly because I look at that Bears defense and go, I don't know who's going to consistently get after quarterbacks for you. Yannick Ngakoue has had one of the most interesting careers to me of any player that I've ever seen because he just bounces around the league like a ping pong ball. And he's pretty good practically everywhere he goes. He's not a star. He's not a top 10 pass rusher in the league, but he's in the top 20.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody wants to hold on to him long term.
No. And the Cowboys' kicking woes continue. Tristan Vizcaino, apparently he's bad at football because he hasn't been doing well in the practices lately. In 8 padded practices, Vizcaino made 22 of 35 attempts in the team drills. He was just 4 of 8 in the most recent Dallas practice, including 4 straight misses in a row, which then they were like, okay, we can't do this. But now we've only got 1 kicker left on the roster, and that guy's not much better because he came from the USFL.
Now, for point of reference, if you want to know just how bad that is, that means that Jake Paul and Nate Diaz were almost as good landing punches on each other as these 2 kickers have been in practice.
Right. Now, the theory I think that we could all probably get on board with here is how this is going to go. Mason
Robbie
Crosby.
Gold.
Really?
Oh, for me, this
you don't think it's
close.
Mason Crosby? Because of the connection with Mike McCarthy and had played under him once?
I mean, for me, if I'm looking for a kicker that's going to solve my problem, I'll go one of the best that's ever lived and not the guy that I once watched shank 4 field goals in a row. And
yeah, the last few years haven't been kind to him.
He hasn't aged particularly well.
Right.
So, yeah, you can sign Mason Crosby. I'm still not sure you have a kicker if you do that.
Right.
But, I mean, you're more than welcome to.
Robbie Gold, he's got to be 58 by now.
I think he is my age. Pretty sure he's 36.
Again, one of those that just feels like he's been around forever.
Oh, no, he's 40.
Yeah. He's been around
He's a man.
Long time.
He's 40. That's still better than Tristan Vizcaino. I'll never understand how teams go into camp with kicking problems like that. The AP story that came out earlier said they were interested in Chad Ryland and Jake Moody, the 2 kickers that got drafted in the 23 NFL draft. But they went higher than they were ready to go. Okay, so those 2 go away, and you just, hey, find me 2 dudes that have kicked a field goal ever. Are they good at it? Didn't ask that. Just, can they kick a field goal?
Is Mike Nugent still available?
Don't say that name to me. Ever. That's one of those names that is forever on the no list.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did he ruin things for your
he was a Jets kicker.
Yeah, he played for my Bucks too.
Yeah, he was our number 1 draft pick. So
I remember that.
Yeah, we traded for Doug Jolly, and he was our first selection. That was the year I walked away from the draft and went, I don't know why I do this to myself. Every year this team just kicks me right in the old groin region.
Yep. Yes, they do. It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. There is one running back that is having a visit down in the Big Easy, and they need a running back because their star running back, he's going to be out for the first 3 games of the season. We'll talk to New Orleans Saints, Alvin Kamara, and Kareem Hunt coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Big storms marching across the state tonight. I think the most intense storms will move on to the east of Asheville here for the late night tonight, but big storms across the mountains. Temperatures in the mid-60s tonight. Some heavy downpours, over half-inch rainfall from this squall line marching across North Carolina tonight. Partly cloudy Tuesday, 81 degrees, mid-80s on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has great prices on everything you need for back to school. Right now, a 24-pack of Crayola crayons and marble comp books are just 50 cents each. Pricing may vary in-store and online. NC26, comp books in-store only. School on, save on at Staples.
The NFL is back, and your free iHeartRadio app is your home for the NFL Podcast Network with full coverage of all 32 NFL teams. Get in-depth analysis from the pros on around the NFL. Win bragging rights at this year's draft with tips from the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast and more. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Every day, you breathe in thousands of microscopic germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, helping flush out all the nasty things that make you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Cindy, a verified Navage user who writes, "I've had such awful nasal congestion for the last couple years. I bought Navage and OMG, I can breathe again. I love this thing. Goodbye neti pot, hello Navage." End quote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside. Combat sports ruled the weekend for me. I mean,
please tell me
else going on.
Please tell me that you're not calling Jake Paul, Nate Diaz combat sports.
Of course,
you could have put them in nightgowns and given them a pillow, and that could have been that literally could have been confused for a pillow fight.
which you could have seen over the weekend on ESPN 8, The Ocho. Apparently, they did have the National Pillow Fighting Championships on there, and I wouldn't watch that if you paid me. What? What's your face?
There's no less than 7 jokes that I want to make right now, and I don't know that I can. Nope, gonna let it pass.
Interesting. Yeah, that was look, Jake Paul, Nate Diaz. That was the headliner of the night. Of course, there was Super Slam.
Super Slam,
which I don't know why I do that.
You get so
why do I
angry.
do that?
You and Brian Haynes get so angry about professional wrestling. You're a grown man.
I know. Look.
It's fictitious wrestling between people in costumes.
Of course it is. I know that.
And one of them is a pole.
I know exactly what professional wrestling is. I just expect a good show, and I never get one. When I tune in for the pay-per-views, hoping that maybe this time they're going to provide me with some great, riveting entertainment, it always lets me down.
I turned on Super Slam for, I'm going to say I made it 5 minutes. I only know what I hear you and Brian Haynes and people on my social media accounts complain about. That's all I got. And the end of Super Slam was
terrible.
It was as predictable as anything I've ever seen.
It's absolutely terrible.
Oh, wait, yep. I could have told you that's how that was going to go, and I don't even know those dudes' names.
The WWE has one Universal Champion. one Roman Reigns, who's been the champion for 800 years, it feels like.
1,145 days.
And they just can't seem to take the belt away from him no matter what they do. They don't want to give it to Brock Lesnar. They don't want to give it to Cody Rhodes. They definitely didn't want to give it to Jey Uso, apparently, because his brother came in and, turned against him. I'm not so mad about that. It's just
I really wish
the whole thing is just
I wish I had a
disappointing.
button for when you went on tirades. You know what? I think this one will do
I
this
am
one.
35 years old. I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
Yeah, that worked better than I thought it would. That was way better than I planned.
It's just disappointing. As was the fight. I'm not saying that the fight was any better on DAZN or whatever it was. Jake Paul and Nate Diaz. I keep tuning into these things.
Stop doing it. If people will stop paying money to see these travesties, they'll stop happening.
Look, I'll be honest.
I said the same thing about the Kardashians.
Look, stop.
If you'll leave E alone, just take E and go, that station doesn't exist until you stop giving me O.J. Simpson's defense attorney's lunatic family. They'll go away.
Name for me the boxing match that has gotten a decent buzz since Jake Paul started fighting. End of message. Repeat the line.
Tyson
There's
Fury,
not one.
Deontay Wilder.
I think that was before Jake Paul started.
And that was actual legitimate boxing. See, you lost me at boxing match because that's not what it was. Because Nate Diaz went, hey, I'm a UFC fighter, so I'm just going to burrow my way in here like a gopher and let you just beat me in the brain. That's not boxing.
Well, I mean, that's what Nate Diaz does, though, right? I mean, right? And Nate Diaz is known for taking the beating all the way to the limit, and then maybe he'll come up with a win in the end.
Nate Diaz is known for all the lights are on, ain't nobody home.
I just keep waiting for the actual legitimate fighter to come in and knock Jake's block off. Look,
He won't fight one of those.
I'm not a boxing connoisseur, so I can't
and
tell you.
it makes me really, really angry.
Jake, is he even a decent fighter?
He's, as somebody that is a boxing purist that has watched this sport be dismantled limb by limb over the course of 25 years, Jake Paul looks like he stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. The only problem is, think back to those commercials of, the guy comes in and tries to save somebody's life. When the rubber meets the road and you actually have to do the things you're supposed to know, you can't do it. A middling fighter, which is what Tommy Fury was.
Absolutely.
Dominated him.
Mm-hmm.
Dominated him. Every mediocre Golden Gloves fighter you have ever seen would dog walk Jake Paul. And yet, we keep doing this. I'll be 100% honest with you. I just did a Tough Man in Swannanoa, North Carolina. Two of those champions would beat Jake Paul like a kettle drum.
Really?
One of them was markedly bigger than him. So that one, I'll take that one out. The guy in his weight class beat him like a kettle drum. Wouldn't last 3 rounds. He would knock him out in 3 rounds.
Interesting. Look, I thought it was entertaining to a point. I hung with it just to see what was going to happen. See if Nate was going to be able to pull off that last punch in the final round to be able to knock him out and shut him up. But it didn't happen. Jake Paul won the fight over Nate Diaz. And then in the arena, the American Airlines Arena in Dallas, immediately following the fight, Logan, his brother, who had wrestled at Super Slam earlier in the night, he was ringside. He got into it with a fan where the fan started to pick up a chair to hit him with it. And that was when, of course, security came in and mobbed that guy. And then there were a report of, I'm going to guess, about 12 separate fights that happened around the arena in the immediate aftermath of the Logan Paul-Nate Diaz fight. And I honestly don't believe that this was just just random guys getting into it. This was probably guys that were like, man, Nate Diaz, he really should have beat the crap out of Jake Paul. We're sick and tired of seeing this crap.
It appears a couple of the fights I saw in the crowd looked kind of like this video I saw out of Alabama with the shirtless sunburnt men that decided they were just going to go full-on Friday night fist fights.
Looks like a Green family reunion.
Hey. Yeah, you want to go down that path? That offer if you want to take, because I don't think you do. Yeah, I hadn't seen it. We've had a bunch of people in our YouTube chat that have mentioned this fight, and I've now seen the video of it. I don't know what it was about.
I'm just at the point where I feel like boxing fans and wrestling fans should all be in the same boat right now. We're just done. We're boycotting until you can come up with something entertaining for us.
You know what I learned in the very little bit that I watched Super Slam? You need to get behind that middle-aged dude that goes, yeah, like 5,000 times.
Oh, LA Knight?
Yeah, that one. That dude. You ought to get behind that dude because he showed up. He won. Place went nanners. Nothing else mattered for two full matches. Maybe, and now, look, marketing guy, college dropout, maybe you don't take my advice. You probably should give your people what they want.
Right.
Eventually.
Mm-hmm. But they don't. Because the baby faces or the fan favorites, they keep losing to these idiots. Roman Reigns and Gunther and ugh.
Yeah, the guy. He and I would be really good friends. That seems like that guy, his little persona that I saw in a very small little capsule, that strikes me as the living embodiment of Jeremy Green at about 11:15 every night of his life.
Right.
Really likes himself. Really wants you to know it. Yeah!
They're just not even hiding it. I thought when Triple H took over the creative of WWE that it was going to get better, and I should have known better, apparently. They put Ronda Rousey and her former tag team partner in a MMA rules fight and then just proceeded to watch Ronda Rousey, the baddest woman on the planet, just,
I've given you 7 minutes to complain about
around. It was crazy.
I've given you 7 minutes to complain about WWE.
I'm sorry. I can't help it.
I think I've done all I can do here.
I can't help it.
I think I've done all I can do. And now we got to talk about actual football. You whined about fake fighting for so long that we'll get to my story tomorrow.
So Alvin Kamara. Yeah, he's going to be suspended for 3 games of the upcoming regular season because of the fight that he got into in Las Vegas in 2022. And now Kareem Hunt is visiting the New Orleans Saints as they look to add to their stable of backs down there. They've already got Jamal Williams. They drafted Kendre Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got Kareem Hunt coming in for a visit.
And they plan on signing him, according to everything.
If he's healthy, if he passes the physical, all word is that they expect to sign him.
Mm-hmm.
And now Alvin Kamara is going to be gone for 3 games, and then he'll be back, and that's a really full backfield.
Yeah, it's not, though. Yeah, Alvin Kamara will still get his touches. Somebody, and I apologize, I think it was Tim Raymond, asked me earlier, where do I have Alvin Kamara? From week 3 on, he's still in my top 8. And I don't care if they sign Kareem Hunt. They've had a lot of dudes in that backfield for several years. Are any of them in the neighborhood of as good as Alvin Kamara?
No.
Do you know the 3 games that Alvin Kamara misses? Tennessee Titans, at the Carolina Panthers, at the Green Bay Packers. You're winning 2 of those 3 games. I'm not even going to try to take a guess at which 2 it is. I feel like Tennessee in New Orleans they're walking into a buzzsaw. Probably say Green Bay's the other one. You probably go into Carolina and lose.
Mm-hmm.
You come out of it 2-1. Then you play Tampa Bay, New England, Houston, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, Chicago, Minnesota. Yeah, I feel real good about New Orleans. I feel this is not Georgia Bulldog soft schedule, but it's adjacent to that. It's in the neighborhood of that. And this team is – look, I've said all offseason long, I think New Orleans is good. And 3 games, is that a little more than I thought it would be? Maybe a game or 2. It's less than I thought it would be when we were talking about this to begin the offseason. So, I think if you're a New Orleans fan, you should be just fine. The thing that should scare you the most is that seemingly every player that touches the field in your training camp immediately gets hurt, which I don't understand.
Yeah, what if somebody commented a minute ago?
15 injuries in 2 days.
Wow.
And I don't know that any of them are significant, but that's weird to me. There's something up with that medical team down there that it's always rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, I've felt the same way about all teams that have these rashes of injuries each and every year. The San Francisco 49ers, the Baltimore Ravens. Like, is it something inside your building? Does it have something to do with the medical staff and the preparation and the strength and conditioning regimens or lack thereof that these guys have to go through? It's just weird how it's the same teams each and every year that have the most injury problems.
It does seem to be. But, I mean, Michael Meadows in our YouTube comments asked, where do you draft Kamara now? For me, I start considering it in the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it makes it more and here's the thing. The Kareem Hunt, I couldn't get his name out of my mouth for some reason. It changes absolutely nothing for me. I have long thought he is one of the most overrated players in the league. Jamal Williams, they gave a legit deal to. He's been in front of the media a lot. I think he's between the tackles back regardless. So I don't put much stock in Kareem Hunt. I really want Jamal Williams. But I'm not scared to take any of them.
Okay. Kareem Hunt doesn't change a lot for Jeremy. Doesn't change a lot for me either.
I mean, okay, so he comes in, he's the passing. He gets some of the passing work.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara does that tremendously well.
And I know there are some people that are upset that Alvin Kamara didn't get a longer suspension, but what'd you want him to do?
That's the way it works.
Right.
Got settled out.
I'm your huckleberry.
Curtis Davis, one of our newest signees to the battle for the belts, along with Shane Bounds, also now into the battle for the belt. With a super chat, say, try being a Superchargers fan. You get used to bad kicks. Yet, trust me, the two of us, we've seen a lot of bad kickers. I'm very happy where I am right now with Greg the Leg Zerline.
As you should be.
It's a lot more fun on this side.
Go
spend the money on a kicker. Don't do it in fantasy football. NFL teams, just, okay, that's like $4 million. Just give it. There you go.
Well, I mean, if you're going to win something. If you're not,
I don't care if you're going to win anything or not. Okay, it's stupid to not have a kicker. To be trotting out some USFL retread, that makes zero sense to me.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Jeremy's bangers are coming up next for the NFC East.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Careless debris burning is the leading cause of wildfires in North Carolina. Remember to keep your burn pile small, not tall, and never burn on dry, windy days or leave your fire unattended. Learn more at ncforestservice.gov. You are the best defense against wildfires.
Taco Bell's new grilled cheese dipping taco is filled with new slow braised shredded beef. But the really new part? It comes with a nacho cheese and red sauce you dip it into. Get one on the Taco Bell app today. A participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
DQ presents... That's the sound of someone seeing the DQ $7 meal deal. And that's the sound of someone deciding if they want the original cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken strips with their $7 meal deal. And that's the sound of someone digging into their choice of original cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken strips, plus regular fries, a drink, and a sundae. Sounds pretty good, right? Grab the full-size $7 meal deal only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Coffee store closes on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
We're officially back to football. It was a great game between two Titans. Okay, it was preseason. It was Kellen Mond. It was Zach Wilson. But you know what? It was 11 guys on offense. It was 11 guys on defense. They were all wearing helmets. They were all wearing jerseys that are recognized. And for me, that's better than anything baseball can give me. So we continue with division winner futures as we get ready for the preseason to really kick off this weekend. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. I've already done the Souths. I've already done the Norths. So now we head to the two most competitive divisions in football, the Easts. All right, the NFC East, it's really competitive between two teams. If you want to go plus 850 on the New York Giants or plus 1,600 on the Washington Commanders, more power to you. There's not enough Maalox, Goody Powders, and Alka-Seltzers in the Western Hemisphere for me to get through trying to put my money through that. So for me, it's the Eagles at minus 135, Cowboys at plus 190. Look, the Eagles are a fantastic team. They're not a crazy deep team, and they're already going through injuries. Nakobe Dean probably won't be back till the start of the regular season, already having to sign veteran linebackers. I'm not catching a lot of value at minus 135 for a team that's playing an evil schedule. So the team I'm really narrowed in on is the Dallas Cowboys. You almost double your money at plus 190. That means you put down $100 to win $190. Conversely, you have to put down $135 to win $100 with Philadelphia. And I think these teams are way closer than people think. Philadelphia is the better team. They probably win the division. There's just virtually no value there. And if anything goes wrong, Dallas will be right on their heels to catch them if they fall. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Big storms marching across the state tonight. I think the most intense storms will move on to the east of Asheville here for the late night tonight, but big storms across the mountains. Temperatures in the mid-60s tonight. Some heavy downpours, over half-inch rainfall from this squall line marching across North Carolina tonight. Partly cloudy Tuesday, 81 degrees, mid-80s on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Irish Spring, the fresh scent of Irish Spring. And those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset you need to own the day. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at your local retailer today.
Foo Fighters,
Fall Out Boy,
Kelly Clarkson,
King Brown,
Lil Wayne, Lil Durk,
Lenny Kravitz,
Miguel,
Public Enemy,
Sheryl Crow,
Travis Scott,
Tim McGraw,
TLC,
30 Seconds to Mars.
Get your tickets now.
iHeartRadio Music Festival.
AXS.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Listen to Comeback Stories. I'm Darren Waller. You might know me as a tight end for the New York Giants,
or some of you might know me from my story of struggling with and beating addiction to become a Pro Bowl tight end. With me, I have my friend and co-host, Donnie Starkins, who is a yoga instructor and a personal development coach, a man fully invested in seeing people reach their fullest potential. Catch us every week on Comeback Stories on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get
From
your
the Ingalls studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news, Major League Baseball suspended White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson 6 games, Guardians third baseman Jose Ramirez 3 games for their roles in Saturday's massive brawl. Cleveland closer Emmanuel Clase, White Sox manager Pedro Gaffol, and Guardians manager Terry Francona also suspended 1 game apiece. Anderson and Ramirez are appealing so they can play until that process is complete. If Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow is not 100% for Week 1, receiver Jamar Chase does not want to see him on the field. Chase repeatedly has said he doesn't want Burrow rushing back from that calf strain to play, says the Bengals are worried about the big picture, not the small one. ESPN NFL reporter Kimberly Martin.
I don't love Joe Burrow missing any time, but if there's one quarterback I look at besides Patrick Mahomes and say, you know what, when he comes back fully healthy, I expect to see him roll, it's Joe.
Kimberly Martin on First Take. Texans starting right tackle Titus Howard expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks after undergoing hand surgery, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter. So it is possible Howard will be back in time for the September 10th season opener against the Ravens.
How would you love a chance to save some money on car insurance? Geico can help. Switch today and see all the ways you could save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
It is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Don't forget, on the description of the YouTube video, you can find, and on the front page of the website, you can find all of the links to get in on this year's battle for the belt. You want to be Beer City's best fantasy football player, like Michael Meadows, who doesn't even live in Beer City, but he is ours.
The reigning, defending champion of the world. And I a little birdie told me that the belt was going to be making an appearance here at Lovely Radio Ranch in the coming days.
Very nice.
Weeks.
Very nice. Michael Meadows was our winner of the battle for the belt last year. Now there's 2 contests and 2 belts that you could possibly win just by playing DFS with us. The two separate competitions. Well, you know, Jeremy has explained he's got like a survivor pool.
Well, you've got
something.
the standard one, which is exactly like we did last year.
Right, DFS
right,
every week.
You just come in, you put in you go to DraftKings, you get the invite every week. You put in your lineup that's under $50,000 of fictitious DraftKings dollars, and the highest scorers every week we will put in 3 to the finals, and then highest 25 aggregate scores, and you'll all have a chance going into those playoff weeks. Mm-hmm. Then there's the Eliminator, which doesn't have a playoffs. It's how good are you over the course of the season, but you can only use each player 3 times.
Which obviously more raises the level of difficulty on the game. Thereby Jeremy putting the thumb on the scale, hoping that he can win one of the belts this year. Because he was devastated when he had to give it up.
Well, I finished third last year, so I was right there. I was right there till the end.
I'm not saying that you weren't. Just saying you were devastated you didn't get to keep the belt.
As of right now, it appears that this year's belt will be almost half a pound heavier than last year's. And if you saw the belt at any of our social gatherings, it was a sizable belt. And this year, both belts will be with the Tanker and I as we do live Sunday Fantasy Football Spectaculars.
Yes.
Live from the Village Porch. 51 North Merriman Avenue.
Yes, indeed. So follow all the links on the social medias on the sportsocracy.com. Also, of course, links in the description of each and every YouTube video that we do.
And before we move on, I have breaking news.
Wait, proceeds, by the way, from the Battle for the Belt go to Eblen Charities to support the St. Nicholas Project. Okay, now.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Okay, the thing I said about singing, that goes for dancing. Anything rhythmic, just don't do that. That's awful. Thursday, our live 6-hour fantasy football quarter marathon. We will be joined by armchair commentary.
Nice.
We have been trying to hammer those things out. It looks like he'll be around for the last hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere in there.
Okay, excellent. Quarter marathon, all fantasy football on Thursday afternoon. We'll have a Braves game on ESPN Asheville, but from noon until our usual 6 p.m., we will be live on the YouTube stream, completely uncensored.
Yes, which means wordy dirts.
And ready to give you all of the fantasy advice for you to have success in your leagues this upcoming season. So that is this Thursday, 12 until 6 p.m.
Correct.
All right, now, story of the day, story of the weekend has to be the death of the Pac-12. A conference that has such a storied past in college football lore, but it will be no more because there are only 4 teams now left in it. Well, after the after this season, 2024. It's going to bring about changes. You got a bunch of teams going off to the Big 12, got a bunch of teams going off to the Big 10, and you're left with Washington State, Oregon State, Cal, and Stanford as your 4 teams left in the Pac-12. We all knew this was coming. I don't think anybody should be shocked by this.
Anybody that listens to this show wouldn't be, because I told you it was coming the last show we did. And then it happened right after we went off the air. This is the most predictable thing I've ever seen in my life. Let me tell you why. I heard Jonas Knox say this morning. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when Oregon State played USC? And they were both undefeated. And Oregon State almost pulled off the upset, except for Caleb Williams was Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that game broadcast?